Good afternoon, family. Welcome to Inspirations by Terry. Hoping everyone is doing well and is having a wonderful day. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. I try to do subjects that are inspirational and will create change for the better in your life and to inspire you to be more like our Hamashiach, Yeshua. You may know him also as Jesus, but Yeshua. And if you're a return viewer, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your likes, your comments, and your shares, okay? Today, I just have a simple message that I want to share with you guys about integrity. Are you an integral person? Do you have integrity? If someone was to ask about you when you were not present, would they say that Terry is a person of integrity? And whatever your name is, Paul is a person of integrity, or Belinda is a person of integrity. So what is, my microphone just came off. Sorry about that. So what is integrity? What is integrity? Integrity is simply just the quality of being honest, having strong moral principles, being sincere, serenity of heart, and intentions. That's the key there in your intentions. Truthfulness and uprightness, right? So I also like to think of it as, what do you do when no one else is around or when no one else is watching and you think you can get away with something, or not that you can get away with it, but what you do when no one else is watching. Like, if no one can catch me, I'm going to do this because no one else is around. Because if you're a person of integrity, you're going to do the same thing when someone's watching as well as when no one is around. You're going to do the same thing. What are some examples of integrity? Let's use this one. You go to the grocery store and you pay your bill, and your change is $5.15. But instead of it being $5.15, they give you $10.15. And as you're walking out the store, looking at your receipt, as we all do, we review our receipt and looking at our change. Do you say, "Oh, hallelujah, I just got a blessing. I have an extra $10"? Or do you take the $10 back to the cashier and say, "Here, you gave me too much change. I don't want your drawer to come up short tonight when you're cashing out"? What do? I've been in both situations. I've been in situations where they gave me too much change and I kept it, right? And felt so bad all the way home, felt so bad all the way, because I'm like, well, Dad, if I was the cashier and now at the end of the night my drawer is short, that's coming out of my pay, or that's coming out of my, it's being deducted. Like, somehow I have to pay for that because I made a mistake. And I felt bad. I felt so bad, but I never turned around and went back. I'm just saying that I have kept the change before. But I learned a valuable lesson because it ate me up all the way home. I felt so terrible. And this was years and years ago. I probably wasn't even following the Most High Yah, because I just have that, just a person of integrity. I would like to think anyway. But anyhow, and it ate me up, and I felt so bad. Like, why didn't I take that money back? What if that was me? What if that was me? So all along I'm thinking, but I never took it back. But after that situation, I always said to myself, that will never happen again because that was wrong. I should have never done that. So that's an example of integrity. I did it. Okay. How about another example of a biblical example of integrity is Joseph. When Pharaoh's wife, she's watching Joseph every day because he had full run of the house. And I guess Joseph was a very handsome man, very handsome Hebrew man, right? And she was like looking at him and, but Pharaoh seemed handsome too, but, some people are just never satisfied. She's looking at him, probably looking at his strong muscles and everything and his strong thighs because, the men wore skirts back then. And his high his sandals that were like, leather sandals, and they were strapped up to like knee high. She's like, oh, Joseph is fine, right? I'm going to seduce him. So she seduces Joseph. And Joseph is like, no, no way, Jose. Like, you are married. I work for your husband. This is not right. I can't do this. She persisted and she pursued him. And finally, when she got enough guts, she took off his clothes and she was trying to seduce him. And he ran, left his clothes behind, and he ran, left. He fled. He's like, oh no, I got to get out of here, So when Pharaoh questioned him, because when she goes to her husband, because now she looks stupid because Joseph's like, I'm not doing that, So she's probably feeling let down, betrayed, or she's feeling convicted, or like, oh, he doesn't think I'm beautiful. So now she's going to make him pay. So she goes to her husband and she says to her husband that he tried to seduce me and he tried to, whatever word she used. So the Pharaoh's like, go get Joseph, bring him before me. And they bring Joseph and he asks, tell me your story. Tell me the story. And Joseph tells him. He looks at his wife and he looks at Joseph. Now, Joseph is a man who saved the Pharaoh so much money, who gave him so many wise decisions to make to save and to how to further their kingdom, and how ever since Joseph came into the house and had to run of Egypt, they were prospering. So he's like, why would this man that I feel very safe with, even to bring into my home, lie to me? And he realized that Joseph had indeed told the truth, and that it was his wife who was lying, because he knew his character and he knew that he was a man of integrity. That's another example of integrity. And how about that was on Joseph's side? How about if you're a woman and a man, and this man is married, and he comes for you, giving you that eye, licking his lips, or trying to give you some kind of sign that, he's checking you out. And men do this all the time. Married men. What do you do? What do you do? If you're a woman, what do you do? Do you confront this man? Do you leave the environment? Do you give him the evil eye? Like don't even try it, and make him feel uncomfortable? Or do you delight yourself in it because, oh, so-and-so's husband's checking me out. I must look good. And she thinks that she's the bomb. So she don't even know her husband's checking me out. So you just, do the extra. You just, whatever the extra may be, but you're doing it. Or do you leave the, or do you expose the man right there on the spot? Like, what are you licking your lips for? I bet you won't lick them again, expose you around the spot? Or do you not show up to the place that he's doing this? Because you play a part in integrity. If it's you're doing it or it's being done toward you, you have a part to play. Do you have discernment to see when someone's coming for you, or a married man maybe coming for you, woman, or for a married husband if a woman's coming for you? Can you see that? And if you see that, are you so needy and thirsty that you take the behavior, or do you confront it, share it with your spouse? Like, what do you do? What are 5 attributes of integrity? Dependability, number 1. You're someone that someone can rely on to keep your promises. You're dependable, right? So if you're dependable and I can rely on you to keep your promises, if some woman is coming for your husband, I can depend on my husband to come and share with me the situation because he's dependable. Likewise, flip sides for the man. If a woman's coming for you, you should be able to say to your wife, or wife, you should be able to say to your husband, you know, so-and-so, whatever, because you're dependable. And you can keep your promises to your husband. What's another example? Loyalty. Same thing. That you remain true in conflict. No matter what the situation looks like, you're still loyal in that situation. Integrity. It's an attribute of being having integrity. Honesty. Willing to be truthful no matter what the situation, no matter who's going to be hurt. Joseph, he had to tell Pharaoh the truth, even though that was his wife. He had to be honest and tell him the real deal of what happened in that situation. Whether he got fired, whether he got kicked out of the main house, whether he was sent back to wherever he came from. Like, he had to be honest, right? You have to have good judgment. Like I said earlier, if someone is coming for you, do you have good judgment? Do you say to yourself, maybe I should remove myself from the situation? Oh, I got to go. I just got a phone call. I need to go do whatever you got to do, or whatever. Do you expose the person that's making you feel uncomfortable? Do you confront the person that making you feel uncomfortable? Right? Good judgment is a part of integrity. Respect. Simply put, respect. Simply doing unto others as you would have them do unto you in situations of integrity. If I was your friend and now we're not so close anymore because of whatever reason, and I share with you a lot of things about my life, now do you go sharing all the things that I shared with you in confidence? Do you sit at the next table with someone else and say, oh, well, did you know that she suffers from, hemorrhoids? And did you know that she, she's on high blood pressure medicine? And did you know that she's, she's bulimic and she throws up because she thinks she's fat? Like, do you divulge people's secrets when you're no longer sitting at their table? Lack of integrity. I believe that positive examples of integrity is to set an example, be a positive example of what you want it to look like in your life. If you haven't been shown integrity in the past, be a person of integrity. Change. Be someone that you can be dependent upon. Be loyal. Be honest. Show good judgment. Confront situations head on. Show respect. Be that. Set the example. Be the example. If I'm sitting in the room with my friends and a friend of mine is not present, and the friend that's not present is being talked about, and it could be very well true what is being said, do I have enough of loyalty for my friend to say, hey, like, what are you talking about her for? She's not even here to defend herself. Or do I just listen and get all the information and say, oh, well, I didn't know that. Or, oh, what do you do? Are you a loyal friend? Will you defend the person who's not present and say, hey, this is not good. You're talking about her. She's not here. Does your presence make a difference? Think about it. Does it? Set the example of what you want it to look like. My favorite example of integrity, and it may not even, it could just be very love, sincerity of, but Ruth in the Bible, the story of Ruth was a woman to me who just showed so much integrity. When her husband died and she was free, she was young, she could have just went on with her life and found another husband, but she chose to stay with Naomi. She said, no, I want to stay with you. I want to go with you back to your homeland. I want to learn of your Yah. I want to know of your Most High. Tell me, show me. I want to be with you. I want to take care of you. I want to make sure you're okay. I don't want to leave you by yourself. Woo! Talk about principles, strong moral character. Then when she goes back to the land, and they were like, well, how are we going to make money, or how are we going to eat? And Ruth says to Naomi, I'm going to go, and I'm going to go to the land, and I am going to, she was going to get the remainders. What is it called? Gleaning. She went to glean the land, gleaning the wheat, the barley, the things that they left behind. So what she did is she stands off to the side, scoping out the situation and looking. And as they finished doing the harvest, whatever they left behind, she gleaned from it. When you go to pick corn or whatever, you're picking cotton or whatever you're picking, beans, strawberries, people pick them, but they overlook some stuff. You might have a strawberry here, a cotton there, whatever. And they leave some stuff behind. So Ruth waited till they did what they had to do and did went picking their harvest. And she gleaned what they left behind. But what she didn't know is that somebody was watching her. And when Boaz came to inquire, who's this woman? And they were like, she waited till we gleaned. She waited till we picked our harvest, and then she went behind us and she gleaned the what was left over. So they were giving the report to Boaz, and he was like, she wasn't coming and trying to steal their harvest, and she wasn't coming. She didn't go before them. She waited. Integrity. So when they gave the report about her, it was a good report. Here, we all know the story. She ends up marrying Boaz. He owned the whole field and so much more, based on her integrity, based on how she carried herself, based on her able to have good judgment call, being honest. Having integrity goes a long way. Keeps you out of scandal, keeps you out of so many things. Be a person, be a man of integrity. Be a woman of integrity. Be someone that can be relied on and someone that can be trusted. I'm going to leave you with this scripture. It says in Proverbs 11:3, he is a man, I'm adding this, or a woman, because we know that the Bible, when he says man, he's speaking to both of us. He is a man or a woman that people can trust to do what is right, because he is following in the way of the Most High Yah. Proverbs 11:3. He is a man or a woman that people can trust to do what is right, because he is following in the way of the Most High Yah. Are you a woman or a man that can be trusted? to keep your promises, that can be trusted to, if you're saying you are a man or a woman of Yah, are you conducting yourself as such? It's important. Actions speak louder than words. I want to thank you for tuning in. Be blessed. And please be a person of integrity. If you weren't, it's never too late to turn it around and change. God bless, and see you in the next video. Bye.